Every day, we're going to have experts from different industries, 35 different industries, helping you through the challenges, the hardships, and yes, even the opportunities. So today we've got with us Brian from Stallion Solutions, Expert29. Brian, how are you?
Doing well. Thanks, Gabriel. Thanks for having me this morning.
No problem, man. Thanks for joining us. And the lineup, man, it's strong. We've got roofing today, flooring tomorrow. We've also have appraisers. You got to protect your stuff. Also, how to choose your electricity. I think that's going to be really interesting. How to choose your electricity plan. And then Friday, well, we're in Houston. Houston's opening back up. So we've got the restaurant industry. Somebody's going to talk about all the ins and outs of opening back up and getting back to normal. But let's get to it today with Brian from Stallion Solutions. Brian, you are an expert roofer. You are a contractor. You are a businessman. How are you today?
Doing good this morning. Doing good. Thank you for having me again.
No worries. No worries. Well, let's get to it real quick, right? Things are changing. What has been moving and changing in the roofing industry?
Right. Well, one of the big things here recently, not only because of the COVID, but kind of in conjunction with the COVID, is virtuality, and doing inspections at a person's house, getting up on the roof, and doing it FaceTime. While you're up there, you're showing them as far as the inspection, doing it live with them. Now with the COVID and the social distancing, then after the inspection, hopping on a Zoom call and going through an entire presentation. So it's not an in-house at the couch, at the coffee table presentation. It can be done virtually. You get on Amazon and do shopping for all your household needs online at home anyway. Why not select your roof from your online at home also? There's 3D renderings to where you can select the shingle color on your roof and look at it and change that so that you're not having to look at the live sample and whatnot. You can actually see
and imagine what it's going to look like, right? So it's almost like, no more buyer remorse.
Yes.
That's so interesting, right? And everybody's home. There's this lockdown, right? 25 million plus people are unemployed. What are the opportunities in the business? And with those, what are the challenges? I guess both sides.
There's both sides of that. There is opportunity in the roofing industry for sales, particularly in this time. We've had a lot of this is storm season, and so this is when roofing companies get busy. People getting leaks from the storms, hail is damaging their roofs. So roofing companies are looking for hiring opportunities for sales opportunities. So people that may have been laid off in different industries, in different sales positions, roofing companies are hiring. So that is one of those. As far as the reverse side of things is, with the COVID and everybody being at home, a lot of times when we're doing a roof, we may offer a free inspection to the neighbors in the neighborhood, where we would traditionally go and knock on the door and introduce ourselves. Hey, we're doing replacing the roof over here. While we're here, would you like us to look at your roof? Free inspection. But now with COVID and the social distancing, it's kind of to knock on a person's door and respect that space. There are companies that are doing that. Now is the time when people are home, so companies do know that. At the same time, recently when there's been a big storm, you've got storm chasers coming in. They're going to be chasing these storms, trying to take advantage of that opportunity. So that is something to look and be warned about. And that's something that I can talk about a little bit more.
Well, and that's perfect timing, because we've got a question in from Greg. A roofer just recently knocked on my door. How can I tell if they're trustworthy?
Great question, Greg. Okay, there's a couple things that you can do here in Texas. I'm going to use Texas and Houston for conversation, because that's where we are and that's where we have recent events. There's been 3 hailstorms in the last week here, and so how can you know if they're trustworthy? In Texas, there's no licensing for roofers, so that's really important to know that. people, there is an organization called RCAT, the Roofing Contractor Association of Texas, and that's where all credible roofers register their membership. They're kind of like the governing body of roofers for Texas. And here in Houston, there's a local chapter, HARCA, Houston Area Roofing Contractor Association. So those are the 2 points of reference you can check if the roofer is credible, because they're in order for membership, you have to go through qualifications, having years in business, carry insurance. You have to be sponsored by a member in there, along with some other credentials. So you can go to the Houston Area Roofing Contractor Association website and look at all the roofers that are in Houston on there. And I've provided that document, and if anybody needs that document, I can provide that for you as well.
Yeah, we'll put it in the notes. You can also text Expert29 and get all that info. We're going to give you a couple of extra freebies as we go through this. Great answer. Also, these memberships, right? A lot of people are coming from out of state. So give us a couple of little pointers, right? I guess here, I'll put up another little question. The, one is about the technological improvements in composite roofing. Have there been any technological improvements in composite roofing?
Yes, there has. Here in recent years, there's now an impact resistant shingle, which is great, man. It comes in a 30-year architectural shingle, and hold on a second, my screen just kind of came out there. All right, there we go. I'm back. It has a fiberglass and rubber matting, and so it's going to make it more absorbable for high impact hail and tree branches that may fall on your roof. And the great thing about these shingles is that when they're installed, you get a break on your insurance premium, because it's like an extra layer of protection. So your insurance policy gives you credit for smoke detectors and security systems and all these other different things. So if you have a security system on your roof, they're going to give you a break on your premium. So that's one of the things that we do when we go to customers and clients and we're replacing the roof, is we provide them with that impact resistant shingle option. It is an upgraded shingle from what is standard on most roofs. And so we present them with that, and it's a great investment, because like I said, you get an insurance break on your premiums when that's installed. There is also another technological advance in shingles is not only the solar. We're not going to talk about the solar panel shingles like Tesla's having, but there is a solar resistant, a solar reflective. So it's going to bounce back that heat, and that's
lower your cost, operating cost, your electricity, and all that.
Yeah.
We got another question from Jennifer Johnson. What would home buyers look for in a roof, or what should home buyers look for in a roof? What are warning signs? And I guess this is probably a good transition too into showing how to inspect the roof too.
What do they look for in a roof in a roofing company?
No, like if they're buying a home, right? And I guess how to inspect the roof, or what should they look for, age, or like what are telltale signs of, hey, this roof needs to be replaced?
Right. Okay. One is the coloration of it. Is it a lot darker than the other roofs on the street? Because in Houston, along the coast here, we get a lot of algae coming off the coast, and that's going to get into the shingles and in between the granules, feed off the iron in there, and that's going to make the shingles, the granules, a lot darker. And so you can see that coming off there. It's kind of a catch-22 with that, is because it shortens the lifespan of the shingle, because it makes them hard and brittle. But at the same time, because it makes it hard, it makes it more resistant to impacts that might fall on it. So that shortens the lifespan of the shingle. That's something to look for. If there are shingles that are missing, that are lifted up, that are flapped up, if you see gutters that are hanging below the roof line, that could be a telltale sign of some leaking and fascia damage. So those would be some of the things that you want to look for.
Well, and let's transition into where we've seen a lot of hail and a lot of storm damage, right? So I'm going to actually put up a photo of you, or well, not you, but like some of the stuff that you can see. So can you walk people through how to inspect like the roof, if there was hail damage or if there AC got damage? What are those things that we can look for?
Yeah, you can do kind of a ground inspection to see if you've had hail damage or signs of hail damage without getting on your roof. You want to call a professional roofing company to get on the roof. We walk on them every day. You don't walk on them, so for safety reasons. But you can look for the gutters and downspouts, the dents in the downspouts and the gutters, little marbles sized or larger. Along your windows, the little vinyl strips that go around your windows, they could be broken and have holes in them. Your air condition. If it's an older model, typically the older models do have the exposed fins like this one here. And when the hail comes down, it's going to dent those fins. And that's going to cause damage to the AC over the long term, because those fins are needed for efficiency, and it's going to make that AC work harder. So in this time, if you see any of these signs, that's a strong possibility that you have hail damage on your roof. The insurance, then when it does come time to filing a claim, they will cover for repairs of those downspouts, of those windows, of the AC, and furthermore.
And of course, the roof part, right? This is if you actually on the roof. This is what like hail damage looks like. I've just put up your graphic of golf ball size.
Yeah. And yeah, this is really bad. You can see in other maps. This is golf ball size hail, where it really just took a bite out of the shingle. It through the fibers, through the matting, and just knocked all the granules off of that exposed area. Now, this was taken one day after the storm, and you can see right there on that other graphic, that type of hail is in that red and orange area, and that's just one day after the storm. Many days, months after the storm, you've got more wind coming through, more rain washing those granules and fibers away, and so it's going to expose your decking and compromise your roof and interior for leaks if you don't get that addressed immediately. So it's real important after a hailstorm or a tornado in the area, high winds, to have your roof inspected to look for those things, because if you don't get it addressed immediately, it can be a long-term problem, because it's just like a blister. It's going to open up a scab. It's going to open up even more and more. Consider each day you don't get it replaced, you picking that scab and opening it up.
That's great advice in terms of how to search it. Right now, this is one of my favorite parts of the show, is like, what should one do? Like, in your expert opinion, how can somebody verify if somebody is not legit? Right, because there's so many storm chasers. We just talked about this just happened last week, right? Hail's got my house. In your expert opinion, how can we avoid, being taken advantage of?
Okay, yeah, great question. Again, check the references with RCAT and HARCA. Number one, check with HARCA. All the roofing contractors on that page, those are the high credentialed licensed roofers in Houston. You got to verify if they have insurance. If they don't carry insurance, then they're going to be doing work on your property and hold you liable for it if anything happens on there. Local businesses, you want to check if somebody's knocking at your door and you have kind of a weird feeling about it or anything, ask them for their driver's license. If they don't have a Texas driver's license and a Houston address, where are they coming from? If they don't provide one for you, that may be a little telltale sign. Oh, I left it in my truck, or I don't have it. No, that's not the case. If they pull up in a truck to do the inspection, what state is that license plate from?
Right.
The references, look on Google, on Facebook, look them up to see where they're at. And then if they give you a business card, or if their address is a PO box, no.
Well, and you're also saying if it's an insurance claim, don't go for the lowest bidder, right? Because
Right.
there's a lot of fraud. Talk a little bit about the fraud
Okay.
around insurance.
Yeah. That's a big thing, especially with hail claims and insurance and covering everything. The free roof scam, the I'm going to cover your deductible, nothing out of pocket. That is 100% insurance fraud up and day all day long. And last year, Texas passed HB 2102, September 1st, 2019, and which it requires the homeowner to pay their deductible, but any assistance in covering that deductible is punishable. $2,000 fine, 180 days in jail, and a Class B misdemeanor. And
that's for the contractor and the homeowner, or
yeah,
how did? Yeah.
Yep. And so you want to stay away from that. Why does a quality roofing company or quality roofing contractor need to give you something for the business? Their business and their installation and product and service should speak for itself. You're not going to have quality roofing companies giving away $2,000, $4,000 off of the estimate to earn your business.
It's coming out of somewhere.
It's coming somewhere. So the price that is agreed upon with the insurance, that's what it's cost to do the job and do the repairs. If they're going to take off $4,000 of that, where is that money coming from? It's coming from cheap material left over from another job, cheap labor. Or they just take the first check and then bounce out of town.
Right.
So yeah, it's anybody offering to cover a deductible, that's insurance fraud.
And here's a great quick question from someone: it comes with warranties, but are they transferable? Is the warranty with the building, or is that how is the warranty applied?
Great. Another great question. Yeah. Warranties are a big thing in the roofing industry, and everybody's really wants to know about that. And it's important for that. That goes to another thing to look for when you're choosing a roofing company, that their manufacturer certification. We at Stallion, we're a Shingle Master company with Certainty. So every roof we install has to be installed a particular way to their specifications so that they can back it up by a lifetime warranty. And there's three big brands that are the most popular brands in Texas, the most reputable: Certainty, Owens Corning, and GAF.
And we'll make sure we put those in the comments. So after this, we'll jump on there and add those, because that's super important to keep that in mind.
Yeah. So ensuring that a contractor or roofing company is associated with one of these brands and is a credentialed contractor with them. Certainty is Shingle Master, Owens Corning is preferred or platinum preferred, and GAF is Master Elite. So if they don't have any of those credentials with the companies, they can't offer those extended warranties. They can only offer the manufacturer's warranty, and most likely they won't even register them and be out the door. So making sure that they do have credentials with a manufacturer,
right,
with that.
And here's one that I know it's a little even extra on there. People are asking, I'll put this one. Craig is asking, I'm thinking about going solar. Are the upfront costs worth it? And also, do solar panels weaken my roof? So I guess maybe
I think we've got a four part question there. Solar panels. Man, there's so much going on in the solar roofing transition world right now. Panels have been around for a while, and they're a great investment. It's very competitive here in Texas because there are low electricity rates. And then a few years ago, Tesla and Musk comes out with their solar shingles. And their solar panel shingles. Well, Certainty, the manufacturer we partner with, has actually had a solar shingle since 2013, and it's called the Apollo 2. And those they're integrated and installed along with the shingles, and it's a completely different look than panels or solar shingles. What Tesla is doing, and so. The question is it worth it? It depends on what you're paying for electricity, to be honest.
Right.
That's one of the things. Is your house covered by a lot of trees? If it is, well, then you're not going to get that impact of the sun hitting those panels to generate that electricity. and that return. If your house is a 2-story house with a not very steep slope and facing south and in a big neighborhood, heck yeah, you're getting you're getting there.
Well, let's move on to the best part of the show, which is people are home. We're in this lockdown. Things are starting to open up kind of, but what are the 3 things they can do right now, like to make sure that they're protecting their investment?
Okay. Right now, for your roof, yes, call for an inspection on the roof, whether it's with Stallion or one of the other preferred HARCA members with that list, and we'll come out and do a free inspection. And we'll go through and take pictures, give you a full presentation and report of the roof, and does it have storm damage or is it okay? Give you an expectation on lifespan. Does it need to be repaired? Is it good? That's the thing right there. And then I think going from that point would be, if you do, then we would talk to you about how to file a claim and what insurance company you have and what's the best way to do that.
And really just do a walk around inspection for the house. So even inside the house, there was a question, without getting on the roof, how can we see if there's damage? I mean,
right. Okay. Yeah. Going further than what I covered earlier on that, look inside your house, look up at the ceilings. If you see any brown spots on the ceilings, most likely you've got a leak coming in from somewhere. It could be the AC if your system's up there, and it could be from the roof. So most likely it'd be from the roof. If you see any brown spots, water damage on the ceilings, that's a telltale sign that you've got a roof leak.
Right. Well, Brian, thank you so much for joining us today. This is Expert29, Stallion Solutions. So much good information about inspections, about really the fraud, right? Check the license, check the insurance, check the law. If they know the law, what's that law again?
HB 2102.
And it was passed last year, so we'll put that up in the notes. For the most part, roof inspections are free, but there's too many people that are storm chasing. People are coming to town. Let's be wary of those. And I love the references. I love the resources. We're going to put them in the notes so that people can track it. And again, Brian, super timely and valuable information. Thank you for being with us.
Yes, no problem. My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
No problem, guys. Thank you. Join us again, Expert35. You can text to the number on the screen, and we've got another lineup. We've got floors tomorrow, electricity, and the restaurant's opening again, and appraisal. So stay tuned. Thanks a lot, guys. We'll see you guys soon. Stay safe.